The guitar is tricky instrument. It sounds amazing in trance, but it's a bitch to mix. I recently there's a new State of Trance 2021 compilation coming up, and I have one track there called Drifting South, and it's all about guitars, and it's a live recorded guitar here in Prague with a live guitarist. It's so hard. It's like it's a beautiful instrument, but very hard to work with in trance. So you have to like do a lot of cutting and smoothing. So let's see when it opens up. It's a big project, so give it a second. Whee! While it's loading, next question, please.
When you had the guitar and you said it was too much in the middle with the vocals and it didn't work, and you used the filter to spread it, would it have done anything similar if you'd have created a second track and had the guitar playing twice as one all left and one all right?
So it will still sound the same.
It would still sound the same. You wouldn't get the effect you're after.
Yeah, it's not that easy, you know. You might have a feeling that it's easy, but it actually isn't. It's when if you want them to be like more stereo widened, the way how you do this over here, you would have to duplicate the channel, then you would have to move one side a little bit in time, and this is called the Haas effect. Basically, it's like one side is playing a little bit later, and it appears like a stereo. And that's basically what the other thing is doing as well, the plugin. But it's easier to use the plugin than, you know, duplicating the guitar, then tell it to go 6 milliseconds later, and then you know, make one to the left, one to the right.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the processing on the guitar. This is the whole thing. Experimenting with guitar rig, as you see. Neutron, we don't need anymore, and the ozone and everything. So the ozone is here, see? So this is how it looked like. It was like really, really widened as well. So the guitar processing. It's coming from the Contact. And this is how it sounded in the beginning. It was just this sound. And there is a reverb coming in, so I'm just turning it off. So it's pretty simple preset from Ilya Efimov electric guitar preset. Let me just shut it down. And then compression. On a guitar, you want to have the compression that there is almost no attack, because, you know, a pick guitar is just picking it. So you don't want if you raise the attack, it's just gonna sound like really weird. So you don't want any attack. So when the guitar is like struck loud, it's just gonna turn it down, you know, that. So with no attack, there is no ding, ding. Basically, the noise is removed, that initial noise. There's a long release as well, so you try to keep the guitar as leveled as possible. See? So this is making sure of it. Just 2 dB ratio, or 2 to 1 ratio, and a huge threshold. This is without. See, it sounds like it's like up and down, the noise is up and down and stuff like that. Now, here comes the magic from the guitar rig. I love this plugin. And I used some preset and I modified it. So it's called Almost Clean. So it just, you know, adds some overdrive to it and a little bit of a room. It feels pretty cool. It felt like good. It just saturated it right. Then the EQ came in. This was a lot of dynamic EQing, as you see, because I didn't like this low end here, because I already had the low end coming in from the mid bass. See, so it was like ringing too much. So I only kept these. Right now, when I'm listening to it, I would probably clean up this part. Maybe I did it in here. Oh yeah, and the other thing, I also had the vocals do the same thing, remember, as we did with when the vocals are playing. So they But in this case, I use the dynamic processing as a sidechain thing. So when the vocal is playing, the guitar is actually ducking out of the way, the volume. So the vocals can cut through. You basically do it when I picked all those frequencies of the vocal as before. I clicked on this dynamic thing, turned it on. This is the sidechain. And I told it to go from vocals and post effects, not pre-effects. Because I also wanted all the reverbs, because the guitar is fairly long. Walking down these streets, clouds are turning. And then of course some little bit of an EQ here, taking care of those mid frequencies, high mid. Also, when it started, this is how it was before, yeah? Like really harsh. And I wanted the guitar to like swoop in, so I did a little bit of an automation here on the high end, where it just comes in like this over 4 bars. Walking down these streets, clouds are turning gray. Now adding the stereo separation and a bit of sidechain. Walking down these streets, clouds are turning gray. You just want this to be very smooth. Yeah, it's a tedious process with the guitar. So yeah, so this is how I did it in this particular track.